make lemonade. Let's go to work.
That's the signal! Go, 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 go! It's beautiful! Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Wake up and hit the ground running. It's The Rush, presented by Willis Auto, with Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bringing you raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic talk about sports, life, and everything else that matters. No filtered, no fluff, just The Rush.
Welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive, and hot off the presses this morning from Willis Automotive. May is bringing big Chevy savings. Get $7,000 cash allowance on eligible 2026 Silverado models, or drive home the popular Trax with 2.9% financing. That's all at Willis Chevrolet of Granger. Start your buying experience and get those deals at willisauto.com. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. Watching on YouTube this morning, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like. Of course, you can always leave your comments in the comment section and join our very unique and special YouTube community. Call the show at 515-517-2303 and follow us on social media. Good morning, Ross Peterson.
Wow, what's up, buddy?
Did you haul in some crappie yesterday?
No, I didn't end up getting over there to do it. No, not at all.
I was waiting for fishing stories.
No.
Fish fries, Taco Tuesday, fish tacos.
No, we had a real estate meeting, and Dad's buddy ended up not being able to go out in the morning yesterday, so it didn't work out. That's fishing. Fishing these days, everything's gotta fall into place. Things didn't fall into place yesterday. So
you give me a hard time about my synergy meetings on a quarterly basis. What happens in a real estate meeting? Okay, guys, sell more.
I do give you a hard time, and trust me, I give Mark just as hard of a time when we're having these meetings. Yesterday, I was a tough sell. Let me just tell you that, my friend. You know how much I love personality tests.
Oh, I'm big into them, but I know you're a bit of a cynic, and
dude, cynic ain't even the word for it.
Yeah.
Listen, everybody's selling a system. Everybody's selling a system. I've got a great get-rich-quick idea, okay? And I want to share this with everybody, and I'll tell you all the secrets to it, and then I'll send you guys out in the world, and good luck, okay? Here is my idea for a get-rich-quick meeting. And it's only going to charge you guys $2,000 per seat, okay? So I'm going to rent out an arena, and for $2,000 a seat, you can come, and I'm going to teach you my get-rich-quick plan, all right? And here's the plan for you to get rich quick. Rent a room and charge people $2,000 per seat to come sit down and learn how to get rich quick. And tell them that they should rent a room and charge people $2,000 a seat to come and get rich quick. It works. It would work. It would work. It's amazing how many systems there are for sale out there.
Well,
it's incredible.
I'm inundated on a daily basis, and because I kind of run the YouTube channel and stuff like that, on how many online ads. Hey, I can take your YouTube channel from this to this. Yeah. All it costs is this. So really, you position yourself as a subject matter expert, and then you're going to offer the expertise and basically tell you stuff you already know, but maybe just package it a little bit differently.
Dude, I heard the other day that this couple out of Waco, Texas, they're like a lifestyle brand company.
Oh, yeah. You mean the guys who fix up houses and stuff like that?
They're the shiplap couple.
Yeah.
You can get them to come speak at an event.
Let me guess.
Fire away. You can't do it.
Is it one or both of them together?
The way I understood it was that one of them comes and speaks for this fee.
I would say it's probably upwards of $500,000 to $600,000.
That must be for both of them, Trav. $250,000. $250,000.
And people pay it. I mean, full disclosure, when I bring in a guest speaker to our yearly meeting at MCL, I pay somebody I've never heard of $10,000.
Why? Why? Because that person's man, let me tell you, they sent an email and it had the best headline. Guys, you wait till you read the first lines of this email. They're going to come here and they're going to
go through a speaker exchange, and I kind of tailor to what our message and what our theme is. I hire an agent. I hire an agent. Okay, here's what I need. I'm looking for a center fielder that's got wheels and a good arm. Yeah, I farm it out. I farm it out.
We hired a hiring committee. That's what we did. We didn't hire anybody. We hired a hiring committee.
You'd be surprised what you can negotiate, though, Ross. I mean, you can negotiate the hotel stay. You can negotiate the travel costs. I wouldn't be surprised
at all, dude. I go through houses. I know everything is negotiable. Everything.
But see,
and you can decide not to pay somebody $250,000 to come and talk to your group for an hour. 10,000 is insane.
It is, but it's all what you think your time is worth. I mean, if I were to get on the speaking circuit, and I know you're a bit of a cynic when it comes to this, but not everybody has life figured out. Some people just want to be motivated, and sometimes, I look at stuff like this.
I don't have life figured out. I don't have life figured out, but I know a scam when I see one.
Oh, I wouldn't say speaking is a scam. I look at this stuff like personality tests, and I follow I follow a certain framework when I do some stuff at work. What I hope to get out of something like that is not hey, everything you say is gospel. But if I can take one or two nuggets that I never knew, or go, oh, I can adapt that to my own professional career, then I feel I got value out of it.
Okay.
Now, there's been plenty of speakers I've seen, and I'm like, there's no value here. You've done nothing to provide value. And I emceed an event last year where Nancy Kerrigan came in and gave a speech, and I think she was upwards of $50,000 or $60,000 these people paid. And it was one of the worst speeches I've ever seen in my life. I go, what are we doing here? You're literally reading it off your phone, and you did not talk about what everybody in the room wanted to hear you talk about, which was Tanya Harding, right? And so, am I not? If you went to see Nancy Kerrigan speak, wouldn't you want to hear her talk about Tanya Harding and Jeff Gillooly whacking your knee? I did. And I'm like, you just totally skated over that. You just totally skated over the issue and the topic that you're really known for, that people wanted to hear you talk about.
See, I think you said an important line there. The thing that you're really known for. If you have to send me their bio, they're not really known for anything. Their system ain't that good.
There are diamonds in the rough, but no, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
That couple from Wacko that sells their services for $250,000, that's a good scam right there, man. And they've got a multi-billion-dollar brand, apparently.
Oh yeah, it's massive. If you go to Waco, they've pretty much, they started on I forget what their names are. My wife used to watch them, but they were rehabbing houses, and then they turned it.
Chip and Joanna Gaines,
yes,
yeah.
And then
it reminds me, I'm ready for the deluge. I'm ready, and I hear this stuff, and I go, yeah, we should be having a flood anytime soon. There should be. Something. We're ready for something big to change this all, aren't we?
See, now you're dashing my dreams. I've often thought maybe I can get on the speaking circuit. Now I wouldn't be.
You've got to be able to get on the speaking circuit.
Well, I don't know what I would
I've got
talk
a story
about.
to tell. I'll get up and tell people, hey man, life can be hard. You get up there, you tell them, oh man, I went through some stuff, and you know what? And now I'm not going through stuff.
How'd you get out of it? I screwed up a lot, ignored the warning signs a lot, till the warning signs finally said, you've got to do something. Oh,
that's what I'll title my speech. You've got to do something.
You've got to do something.
That sounds like a motivational speech, doesn't it?
It's actually a pretty good. Headlining today's conference, Ross Peterson with his keynote, You've Got to Do Something.
Here's the deal, folks. Nothing happens until you do something.
Do something.
You've all got to get out there and do something.
So here's the deal.
We're
I can
halfway
lay out
there.
exactly what you're supposed to do, but you have to do something. Warren Buffett has been telling us for years to invest in the S&P 500. You've got to do something. If you don't invest, you don't grow the portfolio.
Put up my big whiteboard and go, okay, this is you. This is you doing nothing. Okay? But over here, here's your goals. Over here, here's your goals. You've got to do something. See that? Over here, you're doing nothing. But over here, this is your goals. You got to do something. You wake up in the morning, you got two decisions every day. Every day, you got a decision. You wake up, you can do nothing.
Or you can do something.
You got to start doing something.
Isn't that every motivational speech? You hear Kirk Ferentz in the locker room. You hear TJ Otzelberger in the locker room. At the end of the day,
this is great.
All they're telling you to do is to do something.
I love this, Jeff. The scary thing is this is 100% believable as a conference
Absolutely.
headline.
How about this? Ross and I tag team to come up with a, hey, you've got to do something speech. I know Jeff Klein at Choice Creative, they're actually forming a speakers bureau.
Oh, stop.
No, they are.
Sign me up, dude.
Sign us up,
me
Jeff.
up.
Sign us up. Keynote speakers, you've got to do something.
Look at that. We already motivated my cousin. Go get him, Chad. So motivated. Gonna do something. Today's my day. Good luck out there, everybody. Go do something.
See, you should tell Mark at your next real estate meeting, I've got a speech I want to give. It's titled, You've Got to Do Something. You want that house to sell? You've got to put a yard sign in the yard. You did something. You've got to post it on the MLS. You did something.
You can do nothing. You've done nothing. And where's it got you? But if you start to do something.
And then because you always have to tell stories, right? To
I've
validate your point. So but you use other people. Use like the most successful people in the world. They did something. Here's what they did.
There you go.
The reason they got here is because they did this, this, and this. What does that mean? They did something. Now, doing something at some point means risk. Great. It does not always mean success.
But you can't accomplish anything without the risk of failure.
Wow. That's profound.
And then you just let that sit. It's like a grenade. You launch it, and you throw it out in the crowd, and you just stand there and wait.
Ross and I did something with this show. There was risk of failure, and there's still risk of failure every single day, but we did something.
I've sat through a lot of bad sales pitches. I'd like the do something speech. I'm retired. When people ask me what I can do all day, I say, what I do, nothing. Ross, do something. We're there. We're halfway there.
This is almost like the living in a van down by the river speech. If you don't do something.
Yep. Then you're going to get nothing. So there you go. So yesterday was yesterday's.
Can you imagine that on the marquee? If you don't do nothing, you won't get, what was it again? If you don't do something, you won't get nothing. That's our profound words of wisdom. Get off your ass.
Ross, what did you build your $1 billion brand on? The idea that people should be doing something. Until you get to a point like my friend Ross, where you don't got to do nothing. But Ross didn't get to do nothing by doing nothing. Ross gets to do nothing by doing something. He did something. I don't know what Ross did, but Ross did something. And now Ross can say doing something is overrated because I did something long enough that now I ain't got to do nothing. Can I get a Woe Bundy?
Mike says, someone AI generate a book cover for Do Something by Ross Peterson. If somebody does that, email it to travis@therushladio.com, and I'll get it up on the YouTube channel, and we'll post it on our social media channels.
Jeff says, I just pulled out my notepad and pen. I'm taking notes. It really hit me when you said, quote, do something.
Wow, that's profound. Walking out of the conference going, man, that was amazing.
See, but listen, Chris is being the cynic here. Look at Chris. Sorry, guys, Nike beat you to it. They said just do it. Chris, they're being very specific when they say just do it.
We're saying do something.
We're saying do something. 6-minute abs. We're talking about 6-minute abs.
A perfect example of how do something is actually turned into a really famous speech. Remember, I think it was a brigadier general who did the whole speech on make your bed.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
That literally is do something to start your day, and that will set you in a trajectory forward to do the next thing during the day. We're just simplifying it and dumbing it down for you.
It's for the masses.
For the absolute masses.
Or the asses. Or the masses.
Now, Ross, again, is more of a cynic than I am. I do like speeches. I do like conferences. But not, I don't go to one looking for the answers to life. I look for little tidbits that I can use to go do something with and adjust to what my profession is. That's why I like Tony Robbins. That's why I like stuff like that. But hey, if you can get on the speaking circuit and make money, more power to you.
I'd sign me up, dude. I didn't know that. I'd do a speech. I'm full of opinions. I give you some cliches that I've found to be true in life. Let's do it. Let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. Daddy needs health insurance. Let's go.
Daddy needs health insurance. I wish people could have been here for our pre-show meeting because we were like having karaoke to start. I mean, we were singing. Ross and I were actually literally singing Neil Diamond songs and Randy Travis songs.
Neil Diamond was in your head this morning. What was that about?
Well, I said something, and then you started going, "Shallow when I was young."
No, you started it. You started it.
What was it? It was "Hello Again" because you got on. I'm like, "Hello
that's right.
again."
That's right.
Hello.
Yeah.
And then you break out into Shiloh, and then I go into Forever in Blue Jeans, and then we go, "Turn on your heart light." Then we go, "Nah, that's like Neil Diamond's worst song."
That's the worst. It was on his greatest hits album, but you know how they do that thing with greatest hits albums? This was a common thing when do they even make albums anymore? But when they had greatest hits albums, they would like sneak in the new songs at the end.
Yeah,
like tracks 13 and 14 were always like the new song, now in our greatest hits album. Here's Heartlight.
Do you know a perfect example of that is Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers? When they did the greatest hits album, Mary Jane's Last Dance was an additional song to the greatest hits album because they needed to put 2 new songs. And Tom Petty was getting ready to break away from, because he was working on Full Moon Fever, and he's like, I got to get he was obligated contractually to do a greatest hits album, and they just like threw Mary Jane's Last Dance together, and that was on there. And that's a pretty darn good song, and I would say one of his greatest hits.
Yeah, okay. All right. I mean, it's a good song. It was a good song. I loved that Wildflowers era of Tom Petty. Why did they have to take out? Remember when they played, so let's get to the point, let's roll another joint. And then they had to change it to note on the radio?
Because radio is stupid. This is why I hate radio when you say the word joint and like, really, you can't talk about rolling weed? I mean, everybody knows what it is. You know what another one is, and I just heard it the other day, was Zac Brown Band's Toes. They won't put ass in the sand.
Shut up.
No.
Are you serious?
I got my toes in the water, toes in the sand. I'm like, no, it's not toes in the sand. It's ass in the sand.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Well, then how did, because I've heard, I got my toes in the water, ass in the sand. I know I've heard that. Did they change it at some point?
No, it's just it's the radio version of that song. And it may be different in every market. In the market that I live in, it's toes and toes.
Dude, people that know best.
We can't influence the youngins by saying ass. Do you know those kids are watching porn on the internet? I mean, so right.
Can't let this country song say ass, guys. We can't expose the youths of America.
Yeah, it's
to
not
this stuff.
Country.
What's that kid doing in the public bathroom stall?
Oh,
but
God.
Dude, when we were kids, like I always think of Elton John had the song "The Bitch Is Back."
Yeah,
and there were so many more worse things. Can't say joint, and they gotta change the note.
Like, it's like, God, how do we digitally scramble this? Let's just put a wonky. Let's roll another. I think he said joint. They didn't want Tipper Gore to protest the albums.
Tipper Gore. She was the lady that got the parental advisory stickers put on things, which only made things worse.
Wasn't that because of 2 Live Crew?
Oh, 2 Live Crew. Oh, so honey. Oh, so honey. Oh. Dude, and that just made them huge. That's what made 2 Live Crew. I would have known of 2 Live Crew in Pleasant Hill, Iowa. I'd have never known of 2 Live Crew except for Tipper Gore getting up there.
When kids buy a song on like Spotify or Apple Music, is there the parental advisory on there?
I don't know that. I don't know. Yeah. Burger's onto something. Tipper Gore probably should have gotten a cut of all those increased album sales with that sticker.
Oh man.
Oh,
this
dude,
might go longer.
The 2 Live Crew thing. You've pulled on a memory file there of all sorts of stuff.
That's what I'm here to. I'm here to bring out the memories. This conversation might bring us over our break time, but I'm okay with that because we own the show and we can do that. And I'm turning to you and I'm turning to our community because I got a text. I go to bed pretty early. I got a text last night from a buddy, who just divulged to me that his son, he had to go get him out of New York because he's an addict, and they put him in rehab. But his son only wants to do 10 days of rehab, and they're like really worried. I'm like, I don't think 10 days is going to solve the problem. I think you need like the full. If you had to literally go get him and bring him here, but he's insisting only 10 days, that's somebody who probably doesn't want to give it up, right? I mean, you're like, okay, 10 days, I can clean up and then start all over again. I think it has to be, and I told him this. I said, man, it's got to be 30, 35 days. I mean, when you've known somebody to go to rehab, have you ever, is it mostly 30 days? Is it longer than that?
Travis, first of all, if the person going in wants to set the time frame, I got bad news.
And Tyler says this, kid doesn't get a choice. Well, he kind of does because he's 26. When I say he's a kid, he's
the addict. Okay. The addict, if the addict is walking in saying, all right, I'm going to give this a 10-day thing.
Trial?
Dude, that ain't going to stick.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing. I mean, I'm no expert, but my gut, the times that it's worked has been people giving up control. The times that it's worked is when people say, this is out of I don't have the abilities to do this. I got to turn this over to something. Dude, one of the first steps of that 12-step program is give it over to a higher power. admit that you can't do it. You got to do something.
Captain Kirk says it right. Still trying to control the situation.
That's a good way to put it. There's all sorts of different cliches. Again, here's part of our little speech we can give.
You got to do something.
You got to do something, and you can't. And the do something can't be, well, I'm going to do nothing for a period of time, and give me 10 days. I'll put this window on it, and then if it doesn't hold by then it's probably not going to hold at all. It won't stick. I'm sorry that your friend is going through that, and
I felt bad because I go to bed early, and he texted me fairly at like 9 o'clock, and I woke up to this. I'm like, God, he probably was ready to talk to me at 9 o'clock. I'm just out like a light, and he's probably like, why are you sending me multiple texts at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah,
I go, I'm sorry, I go to bed early and get up early, man.
Yeah,
but I didn't know how many. I mean, Rev just said, hey, he's 26 years clean off of meth and cocaine. Did you go to rehab, or did you just cut cold turkey?
Travis, these are educated questions. Yep. But you're asking for what my take on it is right away when somebody says, I'll give rehab this amount of time. That doesn't sound like a good start to me.
I like what Captain Kirk said, is that's still trying to control the situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So good luck with that. Is my advice.
But it's a reminder, because I never would have thought this. I've known this buddy for a long time. You never know what people are going through, right? You never know until they finally reach out and you go, wow, I had no clue.
Listen, Tyler's actually onto something here, because this works for people. And I don't want to get political, but think of how many times we have been told, hey, it's just 2 weeks. It's just 2 weeks. 2 weeks is like this magic number in people's brains. What you do is you say, it's just going to be 2 weeks. I know this is uncomfortable. I know this is different, but don't worry. It's only going to last for 2 weeks. And then what you do is about 10 days into that 2 weeks is when you go, when did I tell you 2 weeks? Because I think it's about another 2 weeks.
That happened to you at the radio station all the time.
Dude, COVID. 2 weeks to slow the spread. 2 weeks.
Yep.
Okay. 2 weeks in Iran. How long is this war going to last? 2 weeks? 10 days in. Hey, we're about at that 2 week time period. Did I say two? What did I? Wasn't it just the other day I said 2 weeks? No, it was 2 weeks ago. Oh, yeah. We probably about another 2 weeks.
Ross, we need you to solo show this show. How long? 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly
that's what I meant. I didn't
for a
mean
long time.
Yeah.
For a long
Ross,
time.
We're gonna get you another partner. Okay. How long? Just keep going. Just give me 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks.
Couple more weeks.
2 weeks. Actually, I wish they would have still communicated with me. They just cut off communication with me.
And then when they finally did communicate with you, your services are no longer needed.
No, remember I went in to quit.
Oh,
do you remember that? I don't think I've ever talked about that.
Wow.
I actually went in to quit. I went in and turned in my 2 week notice. I'm like, I'm done. Nobody has communicated with me. You guys are leaving me out there to spin. I'm done. And that's when they were like, well, what if we actually can make things move.
Is that when we got back together? They're like, what do you want? We're like, oh, this is what we want.
Yeah. Well, they didn't even ask me what I wanted. They're just like, what if we put you back with Trav in the morning? I'm like, well, that fits my life. And I can keep my insurance?
To end the first half hour of the show like we started, most speakers have multiple topics they talk about. First one is do something, or we can follow up with just 2 weeks.
Ross just doubled our revenue.
He did.
We're now upscaling. This is vertical integration.
If you are a business that is that has an all-employee meeting, the Rush Radio is for sale to do your motivational speaking, as we will come to your location, speak to your employees about the value of 2 weeks, and you just got to do something during that 2 weeks.
We've got our simple 2 speeches now, Travis.
Yeah.
Travis Justice, change your life in 2 weeks. And Ross Peterson, do something.
And you'll change in 2 weeks. Here's what we want you to do if you want to feel better. Because you got to listen to your body, guys. And sorry, gals who are listening to this is specifically for the men who are listening to the show. Listen to your body. Because sometimes the key to feeling better comes from just getting seen for what you need to be seen for. And Urology Center of Iowa has a dedicated men's health wellness center with services from low testosterone to managing the effects of aging. But more than that, UCI is the place to go when you want to be seen like a man, not a patient. You don't want somebody else's treatment. You deserve yours. So do something today. Schedule an appointment with UCI today at iowauro.com. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
With the Iowa Lottery's new Millionaire for Life game, you could win $1 million a year for life. That could make you a My Dream Job is No Job millionaire. A front row tickets to every show millionaire. A hire a personal glam squad for you and your bestie millionaire.
Yep, a little further.
Or just to never run out of your favorite pickles millionaire. With Millionaire for Life from the Iowa Lottery,
And these.
you can change your life for life. Play today.
When you work with a company like Mr. Electric that goes above and beyond and makes the customer their priority, that is just a real joy to encounter these days. It was a fairly complicated project and it was intimidating. They made it look so easy and they were very professional, very clean folks. They thoroughly explain what they're going to do. It's clear that they're experienced and that they know what they're doing. Having professionals out there that can do that for me, that gives me a lot of peace of mind.
Keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
My name is Gary Presnell, and I'm a residential home mortgage banker for Northwest Bank in Des Moines Metro Market. I've been financing people's homes for over 25 years, and I'm an expert in financing VA loans, FHA loans, IFA loans, and new construction homes. This is my cat Norm. Norm knows basketball, but he doesn't know mortgage. And that's where I come in. There are a lot of Tom, Dick, and Norms out there doing loans. So don't just trust anyone with your home loan. I'm your local, trusted, experienced expert. Please call me. I would love to help you.
Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This is Josh Romick, Service Manager at Willis Lexus. Over time, carbon and deposits build up in your fuel system, clogging injectors and reducing performance. A fuel system service cleans out all that buildup. That's why we're offering our summer travel special with 15% discount on all fuel system services. If you want your vehicle to drive like it did when it was new and prevent problems before they start, a fuel system service is a preventative step. Give us a call to schedule or visit us online at willislexus.com.
Every business has priorities, and Priority One Heating and Cooling is no different. As a service provider, we prioritize quality air conditioners and furnaces that will keep your home at your comfort level year-round. As a small business, we prioritize doing things the right way and treating people fairly. As a truly local business, we prioritize our community. As a veteran-owned business, we prioritize duty and commitment. For big business service with local value, trust your home to the place where you are always Priority One.
Hi, it's Noel. If you're thinking about popping the question, start with a jeweler you can trust. At Fiscus Jewelers, we offer the largest inventory in Ankeny, featuring stunning engagement rings and rare and forever natural diamonds, pre-screened with advanced technology. If you don't see exactly what you're looking for, we'll custom design it together, and our CAD drawings are always free. And when it's time to say I do, don't forget the guys. We offer the largest selection of men's wedding bands around. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
When you want to buy a house, you've got to do something. You've got to get a loan for that house. And you're going to get that loan from Gary Presnell, a mortgage banker with Northwest Bank, financing residential homes the past 25 years. He can get that loan pre-approved in less than 30 minutes. It can happen after hours during the week and on weekends. Gary's the state of Iowa's top producing mortgage banker the past 8 years. Call him today. Do it at 515-975-6767. Coming up in about an hour on the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive, Alli St. John, head women's wrestling coach at Iowa State, is going to be joining us. I can't imagine, Ross, and I want to ask her, because this has got to be like starting a new business, right? I mean, you're starting from scratch.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, certainly you're starting from scratch, but you've at least got that advice around you and the infrastructure that you've got the support of the athletic department, you've got Kevin Dresser's expertise, you've got a brand behind you. I mean, yes, it's definitely starting from scratch and starting new, and you're building a roster from nothing. But I do think that you've got a few advantages over just starting from nothing. It'll be interesting to chat with her about how these first couple weeks have been like what she started at Grandview. She didn't start. She wasn't the first head coach for women at Grandview.
She was an assistant at Grandview, wasn't she?
Yeah.
So,
but there to get it going and pioneering the sport and all that stuff. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
So that's coming up at 7:30. The American Football Coaches Association has come up with some proposed rule changes to the calendar. Now, the AFCA probably doesn't have as much, or maybe it does have influence. I don't know when it goes to the NCAA. Because I mean,
who knows?
But you would think that, hey, if this comes from the AFCA, and I would say most coaches are members of the AFCA, so they would probably agree on the majority of this, have come up with some calendar changes they would like to see, Ross, that would end the college football season by the second Monday in January. And they took this approach because in like 27 and 28, and I'm talking 27 and 28, the college football season is going to end around the January 27th and January 28th. I mean, that's a long time. Here are the proposed changes to the calendar the AFCA would like to see. End conference championship games. End them. That would allow the playoff to start earlier. Reduce open weeks from 1 week until 2, which is just counterintuitive to what the NCAA just did. NCAA just started the season earlier so you could have 2 off weeks.
Reduce open weeks from 2 to 1.
From 2 to 1. Sorry, did I say from 1? That would have been increase. Yeah, sorry. So that would have been reduce it from 2 to 1, which the NCAA just said, hey, we're going to give you 2 weeks because of the injury situation. But the AFCA is saying, okay, if you get rid of the conference championship games, let's reduce the open weeks from 2 to 1. Reducing the minimum time off between games to no fewer than 6. I like that. You got to have 6 days off before you play again. Because I think there's some people that will play like a Saturday and turn around and play a Thursday game or something like that. The Army-Navy game in December will have a set date, but they are allowed to play playoff games on the same day. I don't understand the Army-Navy fascination. I really don't. I maybe, and don't call me unpatriotic for not getting it. It's a football game.
I don't know.
I mean, do you get it?
Do I get the pageantry behind it? Dude,
I get the pageantry, but why does it got to be its own thing?
You're asking the wrong dude. You really, no, I don't get it. And that's not unpatriotic. That's not. Jay, I think, is probably being a smartass here. It's a tradition. If that's the reason that you're given for anything, that's a really bad reason. Why do we do something? Well, because we've always done it. Oh boy, that's a horrible reason. because that's the way it's always been done. We can't think for ourselves. We got to just do what the previous people have done. They did this thing, and we're going to keep doing that thing because of the thing. How about we do something? I'm with you, Travis. Most of this stuff that they've proposed, I guess, doesn't seem crazy to me. I don't think it even goes far enough. Some of it, but okay, keep going. Is that?
Well, yeah. I mean, because their goal here is to be done on the second Monday of January, which I think is a noble goal when it comes to a playoff. I like college football. I don't need it to be played until the end of January.
Yeah.
You're asking student athletes. I mean, you're just putting more on the student athletes. And I know they're getting paid now, but.
Amen. And I liked, wasn't it even Lane Kiffin, who I'm not a huge fan of, wasn't even Lane Kiffin who said, we should probably be playing the national championship like January 1.
I think a lot of people would like to see that January 1 become. I mean, January 1 used to be the tradition, right? I mean, everything culminated on January 1, and then the season was over, and we're like, okay.
Really important and impressive to have a January bowl.
Yeah.
That was like something to hang your hat on. And now they play games after the national championship. Sometimes crazy. The end of conference championships. I'm all for it. Conferences make a lot of money with that.
Yeah, but if you expand the playoff, there's more money to be had. Because let's be honest, the Big Ten and the SEC with expansion of playoffs are going to get more teams in the playoffs.
You're right. Are they going to give up that extra game that makes them extra money?
It depends on how much money is on the table for the playoff.
I'm okay. All right. We'll have
or
to.
Or do they always want more?
Well, yeah. Come on. You know the answer to this. Nobody wants enough. Nobody in charge wants enough. I want more. You want me to give something up at a gamble that I might make a little more or the same? Nah. We'll keep that useless conference championship game because we've got a contract with, a town that we don't actually have a team in. So we've got to have a contract with that team to host a game, and we got sponsors. I mean, Progressive, they're paying a lot of money. Allstate wants to see those hands fly up in the air behind the goalpost every couple of hours, man. We gotta. I don't. So great ideas. None of the NCAA will agree to none of this. None of it. Maybe the Army Navy thing. But the one that we all would go, what the hell?
The bigger question is this. Does it have to be the NCAA? Since the NCAA does not run football per se, would it have to be the College Football Playoff Committee or the Big Four conferences that would, well, let's be honest, as we go forward, the Big Ten and the SEC that would have to agree to this?
Trav, I want to go back and challenge the premise of your question here, all right?
Okay.
You've said it a lot, and I let it fly usually. But it's time to dissect it a little bit. The NCAA doesn't control college football. Then who does?
The conferences.
Then why
when it comes to national championships and the scheduling and the bowl games, the NCAA is totally out of it. Does not make a dime from that. So the conferences and now the College Football Playoff Committee runs that.
Okay. All right. It's not what I see. That's not what I see. And I don't.
How do you not see it?
The NCAA still has an impact. They still have. There's no doubt in my mind that there's still. It's the old Jamie Pollard thing. We're going to find out who's in charge of what when the rubber really starts to meet the road. If the conferences run the show, then why can't the conferences make these decisions?
So let's use a recent example. Okay. The NCAA tournament in basketball just expanded to 76 teams.
Yes.
The NCAA made that determination.
Yep.
College football can't decide on expansion because the Big Ten and the SEC can't come to an agreement. So when it comes to college football, that's who's running the show as far as expansion. You're right, and I'll concede this. And this is where it gets convoluted when it comes to rules, when it comes to like regulation and tampering and weird rules like that, the NCAA. But when it comes to the other governance with stuff like money for college football, media contracts, television contracts for the playoffs, that's all run by the CFP.
Okay, but listen to what you just said. It's this part of it is run by this group, but this part of it is run by this group. This part, the NCAA, well, they kind of got. I mean, you just kind of said it out loud. The NCAA has their fingers in the pot. They've got they get to make rules. They get to be the regulating body, right?
Finger in the pot. They don't get money, and they wouldn't decide what the schedule is.
Okay, this is why I wanted to dissect it a little bit. This is where we'll agree to disagree on what the schematics of the engine look like.
Or this is why it's so confusing, and because I won't deny this.
Like this
handed.
This is the stuff I'm talking about. The NCAA can rule when they want to rule. They have a regulating body when they want to have a regulate. They can make the rules. They can decide when a guy's eligible to play football, but they don't have anything to do with it. Well, hold on. Those two things can't be true. Those two things can't be true where the NCAA has nothing to do with it, man. They're totally out. The poor fellas, they don't even get any of the money. Then why do they get to make the rules? Then why do they have some sort of jurisdiction over the coaches? And what is decided to be a win 5 years after the game was played?
I can answer that for you.
Okay.
It's because it's like the conferences and the CFP want their cake and eat it too. Meaning, hey, we have control of this part, which is the part that matters financially, but we're not structurally, corporately set up to do rules and regulations, so we can pawn that off to the NCAA.
Yeah.
And so it's this split model. You say two things can't be true. I think two things are true here. Like, it's want your cake and eat it too, and they can control an aspect that they want to control.
We're just going to be disagreeing about some of the meanings of these words and the schematics. You just laid out exactly what I wanted to hear laid out. Perfectly. But the idea, this it's a talking point of like, they're totally out of the money. They have nothing to do with college football. Well, until they do. Until they can decide what a win is and when a guy's eligible and what a coach can do and when a coach's wins count. Until they can't. That's why I've always heard that it's a talking point that gets repeated of like, man, the NCAA, they've got nothing to even do with college football. Oh, okay. So you guys get to make your own rules? Well, no, we don't quite do it that way. We still have a governing body. See, it's not a pyramid scheme. It's a triangular marketing opportunity. And you start to play these word games and it becomes the shell game. Do they have their hands solely on the purse strings, the NCAA? No, they don't. But don't give me this double talk of they've got nothing to do with it until they do. They don't have any controlling power until they do. Well, then the first part isn't true. The first part of they've got nothing to do with it until they do. Well, then they do. They've got they play a role in this. And it is a back and forth that happens there. A little bit more than what we want to repeat.
Would you agree with me? And because I agree with what you're saying, but where they're out of it is when they negotiate, like for the NCAA basketball tournament, the NCAA negotiates that television contract. The NCAA is out of that when it comes to the college football playoff. It does not have a negotiating power when it comes to that. So there are, you will concede that.
Yes. Yeah. But again, Travis, I'm not disagreeing with you. We disagree about some of the words. We disagree about the schematics of how this works. Some of us are willing to do a little bit more mental gymnastics, in my opinion, than others. But that's it. We agree for the most part, but We disagree on some of the language that
on
should
the
be
framing
used.
of it.
Yeah, because it to me, it reeks of the coaches know everything. They're the CEOs of it all. Well, until things happen that they aren't aware of in their program. And then you go, we're here to turn good men into great men. Oh, well, until the guy doesn't like to, and then I leave the program and I want to call balls and strikes. I want to call bullshit when I see bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. I'm going to call it right now that you can't stand up and say, oh, man, they've got nothing to do with poor NCAA. Their hands are tied. They don't have anything to do with it until we need them to come in and set some rules and some regulations. The NCAA is the one going to Congress right now and saying, hey, get some handle on this. It ain't for basketball. Right?
No, it's for football.
So then what are we talking about? Why are we going to Congress to lobby them to give the NCAA power if they've got nothing to do with any of it? I'm just saying these are talking points that are fed to us, and then people repeat them and think that they're fact until you start to press on them a little bit and you find the squishy spots and you go, well, wait a minute, hold on. If you've got nothing to do with it, aren't you the guys that just decided who's eligible, who's not? Don't we have lawsuits involving you? If you've got nothing to do with it, why is there a lawsuit? Why isn't the lawsuit against the SEC and the conference commissioners and the presidents of the universities and the athletic directors?
Let me ask you this. I have an answer, but I want to know what your answer. At the end of the day, who do you think holds the most power?
In what?
In this situation.
In which situation?
Like, do you think the NCAA has more power than the conferences and the CFP, or does the CFP have more and the conferences have more power than the NCAA?
You mean to change all this stuff? It is. You're not going to like my answer at all. It's the NCAA. The NCAA could absolutely change the windows of these transfer window of when transfers are allowed. They could put a guardrails on NIL. You're not going to like this answer. They could manipulate all of that. They could wag the dog here. They could say, we're not going to allow our student athletes to perform past this date.
So I'm going to take the other side, and it's not that I'm doing it just to play the other side. I think the conferences in the CFP have more because they can always break away from the NCAA. They have that carrot to say, you know what? You're not solving the problems. We're going to do it on our own. And you can't stop us because we have purposely carved this piece out to where you have no control. And if we need to step away and start our own governing body and start our own rules, we'll do it.
Okay. Why haven't they?
Because it's too big of an undertaking. Because it's way too big of an undertaking to you look at the bureaucracy and what goes into it. They're like, we have not scaled to that level to where we could operate. Because you would have to, you know why? Then you're cutting into the kitty. Because then you're like, oh, we need to hire this, and this. And now we have this. They're basically getting work done for free. At the end of the day,
it ain't for free. And now now the rubber's meeting the road here. It ain't for free. You know that. There's a cost to that. There's a relationship that exists outside of those football offices. There's a relationship that exists. These athletic directors and universities are trying, and it's working. It's working. They're playing both sides of the fence. Okay, NCAA, we need you for rowing. I need you for all your field hockey help, but don't touch my football dollars.
It's want your cake and eat it too.
My point would be you don't have to repeat those talking points on both sides of it. We should be able to have that 50,000-foot view and go, oh, this is bullshit. Oh, look at them. They're riding both sides of the fence. They're trying to tell me that they don't need the NCAA, while at the same time, this was all built by. They're telling me that that NCAA has no power, while the NCAA is the one that's making all the rules. How are we? I don't understand how it's both. And people will go, look, it's both. Maybe there's no fence. Maybe there's no fence.
Hey, folks, do you need a perfect bottle for tonight? Whether it be a bottle of wine, bottle of whiskey, bottle of vodka, bottle of rum,
bottle of brandy,
cognac.
I bet they got some good ports.
Central City Liquors in Des Moines with over 150 single malts, 50 plus bourbons, and hundreds of vodkas. They've got something for every taste. Central City Liquors. It is your spirit's destination. And Brian Duax will be with us tomorrow for another Rush Radio Show weekend special. And I believe 2 drawings, Ross, to go into the vault. Is it 1 or 2? I thought it was 2.
I don't remember what he was doing here. That's awesome. I'd have to look at my notes here.
But you got to go back into the vault. Just super cool. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
With the Iowa Lottery's new Millionaire for Life game, you could win $1 million a year for life. That could make you a My Dream Job is No Job millionaire. A front row tickets to every show millionaire. A hire a personal glam squad for you and your bestie millionaire.
Yep, a little further.
Or just to never run out of your favorite pickles millionaire. With Millionaire for Life from the Iowa Lottery,
And these.
you can change your life for life. Play today.
At Iowa Floor Covering, we believe great floors start with great service. Whether you're looking for a plush carpet, durable LVP, timeless hardwood, stylish laminate, or beautiful tile, including custom tile showers, we'll help you find the perfect fit. No pressure, no pushy sales tactics, just honest guidance from a team that listens. DIY Weekend Warrior, we've got the products and advice to set you up for success. Iowa Floor Covering, floors you'll love from people you can trust.
There are a lot of reasons to want a self-driving mower from Iowa Mobotics.
Being automated gives me more time to do my hobbies.
I travel so much for work that I don't have time to take care of the lawn, but I still care about how it looks.
And I'm just lazy. Gives me time to work in the wood shop instead of spending it on the mower.
It works in my schedule.
And I just really hate doing it.
No matter your reason, with Iowa Mobotics, spend less time mowing, more time living.
Did you know that over time your engine builds up carbon deposits on its valves, which can lead to poor performance, fuel economy, and even bigger issues down the road? With summer on its way and road trips abound, the last thing you want is a major repair. For the month of May, Willis Chevy is offering 15% off our GDI fuel service to clean out that carbon and get your engine running smooth. Don't let poor maintenance keep your family on the side of the road this summer. Visit us online at willischevy.com to schedule your appointment today.
The following advertisement is for people who like to save money.
Do you or a loved one suffer from chronic overspending, getting less but paying more? Then you may have a case of big HVAC. Now is the time to try Priority One. We set our own prices, which means you pay for what you need, not for anything else. And if you need a heating service or new furnace, now is the time to try Priority One.
Side effects of Priority One include increased happiness, extra peace of mind, and bonus cash for whatever you want. Please use responsibly.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vents, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
Start spreading the news, 'cause it's time to buy booze, and there's only one place to be. You can see all your friends, the good times never end, unless you're just loitering. It's Central City, we we can make your dreams come true. No guarantee your dreams will come true. Central City, all this booze is waiting for you. Look at all this booze.
Game on, keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
Like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Hour number 2 of the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. You know, we talk new cars a lot, but, you know, you just might want one that's pre-owned or certified pre-owned. Got a couple thousand miles on it, maybe a little bit more. Willis Waukee Pre-Owned is here for you. Yes, they are in Waukee. A great selection of quality pre-owned vehicles close to home. Start your used car buying journey or pre-owned car buying journey at willisauto.com. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushladio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. Watch it on YouTube. Slap that subscribe button. Give this video a like. Start leaving your comments in the comment section. Call the show at 515-517-2303 and follow us on social media. You got a busy day today?
Yeah, I do have kind of a busy day. Why? What's up?
No, I was just wondering. No, my days time just keeps going by, right? You get done with the day, I'm like, did I do something today? I think I do something, but then I go, God, I didn't do very much.
Yeah,
or I should have done more.
Tomorrow we have a birthday in the house, so I've got some running around to get everything done.
The big 16 tomorrow, right?
And you're talking about the used car world.
Wow.
Yeah. So got a 16-year-old tomorrow.
Does that hit you a little bit? Like when Abigail turned 30, I was like, oh, my daughter's 30.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in that part of life right now where time is flying by. I noticed. So what I do this crazy thing with Eli where I watch time evaporating with Eli and then I apply it to Audrey. And I realized that I have Audrey for one less summer because she's super duper smart and gonna be in college like tomorrow. So yeah, with Eli, it just is trying to watch him enjoy these teenage years.
And you're gonna love the new car insurance rate you have for when he turns 16.
Mm-hmm. So I love my love for insurance anyway.
Yeah, I know.
I've actually been carrying that for a bit, so it won't.
I talked to Chris Conley last night because I had some questions about yesterday on the show. Our listeners were great because they let us know the Iowa Creighton game that's coming up at Casey Center on November 15th. And he goes, hey, how'd you find out about it? I said, well, it was actually your fault because you had sent an email to your club seat owners letting them know, and that eventually got out. And when you send one email, people will start talking because there were no like official statements from Iowa, Creighton, even Casey Center, but they let him know, hey, when pre-sale is going to come up, so I just want to know. And he goes, I don't really have that much more to add. And I said, we'll have you on when the time is appropriate. But he did say the ticket demand is going to be incredible for this game. Like I think he said, and Chris, if I got this wrong, I'm sorry. Like Creighton has already reached out and like asked for half the arena because it's not. It's Maury is doing this game again. Remember Maury? We've had him on before, so he's behind this. And Creighton has already said, "Well, we'll take it all if we can." I mean, so that just shows you
Creighton being greedy. No.
Well, why wouldn't you be? If I'm Iowa, I'm doing the same thing for your season ticket holders to make sure that they get in. And so all I'm saying is that game is going to be a sellout.
Yeah,
I would be totally shocked if that was not a sellout, and it's going to sell out fast.
Yeah, but hopefully Maury does what's right for the people in our community.
Oh, I think he is. But you know what? You don't know unless you ask. If you don't ask, because you can always be told no. But if you're going to say, hey, we'll take half the allotment, but I don't think they're going to do that. You're going to get, here's what you get. There'll be an open sell, but then you go from there.
Yeah.
But I think that this is the type of game that builds excitement. It's a quality non-conference opponent for Iowa. It's a quality non-conference opponent for Creighton. You're not playing a Valley school. You're playing a Big East school, one that's done really well. It will be weird without Greg McDermott running the program. Alan Huss is now the head coach at Creighton, so Greg McDermott not part of it. And but yeah, so the ticket demand will be there. And when they go up for sale, if you want to go to that game, I would get in on it because those tickets are going to go fast. It won't be trying to, hey, we'll give you tickets to give away because when they played last year was
it's just yeah. Maybe we got relationships. Let's see if we can swing some stuff. But yeah, they won't be doing the ticket pushes. You don't think for this one?
No. Your favorite football coach, Ross? Kenny Dillingham from Arizona State.
When you said favorite football coach, that's a broad list right there.
I was being somewhat a bit sarcastic during that. Remember, he's the guy. Somebody just give me $2 million.
25.
$25 million.
I'll make you the most famous guy in town for $25 million was his line.
Well, he was asking for a lot. But he finally got his money. I missed this story last week, but he finally got his money. The largest gift ever given to the Arizona State Athletics Department comes in the form of $10 million. And it's from Brian Sweetie and his wife. Now, Sweetie is the former CEO of PepsiCo and eBay. He might still be the CEO of eBay. But he also ran the Sun Devil Collective. But he has given $10 million for recruitment and retention of the football program. I got news for Mr. Sweetie. That $10 million is not going to last very long.
1 year.
If that. But you're right. Now,
that's a good point. It doesn't even fund the whole thing for 1 year.
No.
And it's not. And Kenny Dillingham was asking for $25 million. So you don't get to be the most famous guy in town yet. You just get to be like the third famous.
Now, along with the donation, Kenny Dillingham becomes the Sweetie Family Endowed Football Coach. What a weird name. The Sweetie Family Endowed Football Coach.
You have to explain to me what that means.
Iowa has it. We never call Kirk Ferentz,
Ben
McCollum, or Jan Jensen.
I know that other schools have used this before. I'm asking, what does it mean?
It means you've given a lot of money, and you're like, where can we put your name if you don't want it on a building? We'll just call the football coach from here on out is the Sweetie Family Endowed Football Coach.
I really would like somebody, maybe we could have, because you've set up some really cool interviews coming up for us, really cool interviews. And maybe when we talk to some of those folks that you've set up, we can ask them, what does this mean? I genuinely, is it a fancy way of saying you have the naming rights?
Basically. And you put a portion of that money into an endowment used for, I don't know what.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Yeah. I mean, because
what? I'm too dumb. I'm really too dumb to understand it. What does it mean to put it in an endowment?
That money would grow. So an endowment would be an investment fund.
Okay.
But I know what you mean.
Interest-bearing account.
Yes. Probably not enough to pay said football coach. I mean, the guy's only given $10 million. And that said, has only given $10 million.
There's an interesting qualification on that too. Highest amount given in one single donation to the athletic
department.
Because $100 million donations have become a very popular thing to universities. But those usually go into a different, not an endowment fund or an interest-bearing account. They use, anyway. Money gets used a different place.
Yeah, it goes to a different program, goes to build a building, a business school. Or if you're the Ryans in Chicago, that literally goes to athletics. I think it's Ryan Arena, Ryan Stadium. How have you seen pictures of the new Northwestern Stadium? That's a pretty cool. It's small,
it's a pretty cool stadium,
but it's
though.
awesome.
Yeah,
it's really, really awesome.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird? Like Northwestern has like the best practice facility and won't have the biggest stadium, but might have like the coolest stadium in the Big Ten. Who would have thought it? Northwestern.
And Berger asked a good question. Will the well run dry? Berger, I thought that same thing. I've been saying it now for a while. Like, oh, these people, these smart guys with money are going to realize there's no return on this. That they're just, I mean, again, this guy who gave $10 million and it will last a year. That Kenny Dillingham was very clear. I need $25 million for this year. You get to be the most popular guy in Arizona for a year. And then next year, I need somebody else to probably cut me a check for 28 or 30. But the well isn't running dry.
Would you agree when it comes to the well? And this would be one of those questions we can ask in June. June's going to be a fun month, folks.
Can we tell people about what you've set up?
I want to wait just a little bit.
All right.
I'll probably wait. But we're gonna have 4 really good interviews. Let's just put it that way. I don't think the well ever runs dry. I think the well gets lower over time, meaning you're always going to have people that are going to contribute, that want to help. And there will be fluctuations of, hey, you have success, the well will fill up, and then it'll go back down. I think we're still in the infancy of this, but people have been donating for years to facilities and stuff. There's always a plan to donate. So the well is just high at a lot of places right now. But I think, like most things, when the ROI isn't there, you go, hey, I'm going to give. I'm just not going to fund like I used to. And then they win and they go, okay, I'm going to help out. Mark Cuban, there's a good story on CBSSports.com about how he decided to give to the Mendoza, to bring Mendoza to Indiana. He was sitting in a suite with the athletic director. They said, hey, we've got this quarterback. He said, tell me more. And then he heard the pitch, heard Mendoza say, hey, sure, I can win the Heisman Trophy, but I need a good offensive line to be able to be a productive quarterback. And that, being an NBA guy who understood you can have a star, but you need the other pieces to fill it in, he liked what he heard. And they said, how much do you need? And they said this, and he gave it to him. But it just wasn't a handout. You had to prove to Mark Cuban that what you were going to do with the money paid off.
Smart guy. I mean, I've watched enough Shark Tank to know that Mark Cuban's going to ask questions before he just hands over money.
Because on Shark Tank, he never hands over money. I mean, he's one of them.
Well, dude, and have you followed the thing with him and selling his share of the Dallas Mavericks?
Because he kind of regrets it now, right?
Oh, he kind of got worked over. He found out he left hundreds of millions on the table when he sold a big share of that. And I think that's, I just saw something the other day about how he's trying to figure out a way to maneuver back into some of those dollars. So I like that. Does the well go dry? No, the well is going to go up and down. And it will probably have a lot to depend on the success of your football team and the off-field business successes of your alumni. If you've got a crumble cookie guy who's got bajillions of dollars to sell, to give away, you're in better shape. If you've got a Mark Cuban, you're in better shape. If you've got a Arizona State dude.
A good example of that locally would be Iowa basketball. Meaning, under those last year of Fran McCaffrey, the well wasn't, it was pretty low. They weren't throwing a lot of money at NIL at basketball. Ben McCollum comes in, they got an influx. You go to the Sweet 16 and boom, right?
Travis, even that change. I mean, we saw it and felt it right away when they made the announcement of hey, Fran McCaffrey's gone. We're going to bring in Ben McCollum. There was an instant jolt of energy. And it's not a knock on Fran McCaffrey. That's a fact that when that was announced, you felt it and was like, oh, damn, people are getting excited. Now, make that run that they made Everything's special now.
Yeah. Now, if you don't keep making those runs,
you've set the bar higher.
You definitely a lot higher. But yeah, Kenny Dillingham got $10 million, and now he's an endowed coach,
which I just don't understand what that means. I genuinely have questions about, like, what does that mean to be an endowed position? I'm too dumb to know.
You're not too dumb to know.
I'm genuinely am in this situation 100%.
I think you're overthinking it. I just look at it as you gave a significant amount of money. We didn't know where to put your name, so you're just going to be the coach is going to be named after you.
It's got to mean something to be an endowed coach.
Maybe they take a portion of the money and they put that into an account that goes to a student athlete for scholarship money or something like that. But we will have people who will have the answers in June.
Funded in perpetuity. An endowed coach is a collegiate coach whose salary and program expenses are funded in perpetuity by the interest from a large one-time private donation, an endowment, rather than the university's annual operating budget. So that $10 million is invested, and then they don't need any more money?
I don't think $10 million is going to make that work. Huh. Not if you're using part of that $10 million for recruitment and retention.
That's what I was wondering, because it seems like that's going to go pretty quick.
Yeah. You hit the jackpot and you're like, where'd all my money go?
I'm genuinely, so maybe next time we have on Jamie Pollard or again, Jamie'd be a fun one to ask these questions to because the guy's an accountant.
Yeah. He can move the numbers around. He gets that Excel spreadsheet.
Explain, what does that mean? Because it doesn't seem like $10 million. I mean, hell, we just had a conversation about how, what's life-changing money? Well, apparently, can $10 million fund this operation in perpetuity?
I mean, Kenny Dillingham probably makes, what, $4, $5, $6 million a year? The answer to your question right there is no, not in perpetuity.
That's what again, too dumb to know, dude. The math don't math in my simple little brain.
We're making this more difficult than it needs to be.
I think that a lot of this stuff is intentionally made more difficult than it's supposed to be. It goes back to our conversation about who's in charge of what. Why is it so hard to understand? On purpose. That's why it's hard to understand.
Fake Bob Vanderplatz tells us that just putting $10 million in a money market account will make you $450,000 a year.
There you go. And that $450,000 a year scratches the surface.
But $10 million is not going to go into a money market account. It's going to go to recruiting and retention.
Okay.
So.
Smarter money guys than me, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm not a smart money guy. I know how to spend it. I don't know how to save it.
Well, I don't know how to. I mean, again, some of this stuff just not at this level. Perpetual funding. Donations go into a permanent fund. The principal stays intact, while interest earnings, often 3 to 4%, fund the position, making it a gift that keeps on giving. So Kenny Dillingham got the Jelly of the Month Club.
Basically.
Clark, it's a gift that keeps on giving.
I get the residual income, but how much has to be in the endowment to actually pay for the $6, $7, $8 million a year these guys are making? You're talking $100 million plus to do that. Sometimes you have to dig into the principle to bail yourself out. Ross, the Cubs won again yesterday.
Yes, they did, dude.
3-2 over the Reds in 10. Michael Busch with a walk-off single in the bottom of the 10th. That's 7 straight wins for the Cubs. Now 13 in a row at home that they've won. which is their longest home winning streak since 2008. Again, coming at a good time because you're taking on the Reds, and there's 2 more games left in the series. So they've won the first 2. And the Cubs just keep finding a way to get it done. This is their second longest, or the second time this year they've had a long winning streak. They have 8 earlier, I think, before they went out, 8 or 9 before they went out to, and they won one in L.A. They won a couple or one in San Diego. So they did that West Coast swing, got a couple wins out there, which was key. But, man, people's hopes are going to start. Hey, what do you say?
Well, on the Reds, dude, losing Pagan that's a big loss.
Because that happened in the 9th inning. He was he warming up, and his hammy went, and then they had to cart him off. You lose your closer.
Yep. So he's headed to the injured list. 34-year-old guy. That could be a big one for the Reds. We'll see. I mean, it's a hamstring. Maybe it's a couple weeks and he's back at it. Maybe they find, every now and again you find an arm in those bullpens that can get the job done. But big loss for them right now, big loss.
Of course, we've talked, while we're talking about money, we know that the Saudis are not going to fund Live Golf anymore. Bryson DeChambeau, getting ready for this weekend's tournament, was asked about, hey, what are your plans? What are your plans? You're going to go back to the PGA? And he wasn't specific, Ross, but he kind of indicated that, the penalties to go back to the PGA are going to be too much that he wants to deal with, right? Yeah. And he goes, his answer was, I think I'm going to play where I'm wanted, and that he wants to grow his YouTube channel maybe 3x. And I'm like, well, how do you do that? And then he goes, you know what? I'm thinking about dubbing and I think this is what he's learned on the Live Tour, because we talked about Australia, parts of Asia that have had an explosion in professional golf. He's like, I think if I redub my videos in 2, 3, 4 different languages, it's another way to get people to watch me and golf, not just in the United States, but throughout the world. And so you're basically repurposing that content to reach a completely different audience. And trust me, he's making money off his YouTube channel, probably enough that you would be surprised at. And then you throw partnership deals in there. What he's saying is, I don't need the PGA. If they don't want me, if they don't want to find a way to reconcile this without punishing people who made something better for their life, I don't need them. I've got exemptions because I'm a 2-time major champion.
So I can play in a couple of the big ones, and you guys can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
I used the Live to build an international brand. I've got more reach on YouTube than you guys do with the PGA.
It's an interesting tactic.
This.
Neither do I. It's more or less saying, I don't need you.
This is but just thinking about this out loud, Trav. Like, Bryson DeChambeau has many times sounded like the smartest guy in the room, and then a month later you go, the 3D printed club. Oh my God, Bryson DeChambeau. If he does well with this, it's going to change golf. Bum, bum, ba-dow. I don't know. We'll wait and see. I don't hate it. I'll tell you that. I don't hate it. I think it sounds like it kind of passes the smell test with a lot of that stuff. Liv did help him have an international brand. He'll be able to.
And by the way, provided him with enough cash to where he doesn't need.
There's a life-changing money conversation we're having.
All he needs, true life-changing money.
Yeah. Bryson DeChambeau can just have an endowment now. He's an endowed golfer. And he's got enough money to live in perpetuity.
What he said was, if the PGA doesn't want me, that's fine, but I have something to offer you.
Yeah.
I have probably more than, maybe take Rory out of there and Tiger, but they don't have the social media presence that he does to reach more people internationally.
I kind of like his very first thing of like, I want to play where I'm wanted. They don't want me. The PGA doesn't want me. The PGA doesn't want some of these golf influencers that have really helped grow the game of golf with social media stuff. I mean, Trav, the most talked about golf tournament that I can remember in the last year was that Barstool thing. Like more of my friends were watching that, texting about it, tweeting about it, watching Fat Perez. I knew more names in that golf tournament than I do when I look at the leaderboard of any major golf tournament. I recognize, and I don't follow any of those people. I don't follow Paige Sporanic. I don't follow Bob Does Sports or whatever it is. But my sphere of influence, the stuff that gets sent to me, that was more talked about and more watched and more enjoyed than any of the majors.
You know why? Because it's the common man.
Because it's entertaining.
Yes. We talked about this yesterday. We just want to be entertained.
Yes. Yeah.
Think about that. Bryson DeChambeau has become more of a common man than anybody else on the tour because he's entertaining. When you sit in your house
really
and you use a lob wedge to try to hit a cup upstairs, people are like, let's see if Bryson can do this.
Hitting the hole-in-one over his house, day whatever of me trying to get a hole-in-one over the top of my house.
Where Liv has done Bryson wonders is that he was painted as the bad guy in PGA. Almost, you didn't understand him. And then when he was able to reveal himself, people go, oh, I relate to this guy.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to take a break because Alli just jumped on in the studio. When we come back.
It's Coach St. John. Come on.
You're right. I shouldn't be on a first name basis yet, should I?
I don't know her.
That's true.
We'll get to know her and then still call her coach, okay?
Okay.
Title. She's earned it.
And I'm bad at that because you're very right to slap my hands on that because I've always man, how disrespectful I am. I'm sorry. I feel bad going into this interview.
I shouldn't have done that to you. I'm sorry.
It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Game on. Keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
With the Iowa Lottery's new Millionaire for Life game, you could win $1 million a year for life. That could make you a My Dream Job is No Job millionaire. A front row tickets to every show millionaire. A hire a personal glam squad for you and your bestie millionaire.
Yep, a little further.
Or just to never run out of your favorite pickles millionaire. With Millionaire for Life from the Iowa Lottery,
And these.
you can change your life for life. Play today.
Hi, I'm Sean McFarland, Service Manager here at Mini of Des Moines, and I have a question for you. Are you and your Mini ready for your summer motoring adventures? To help you have a little more fun on that trip, this month we're offering a 15% discount on all fuel services, as well as reduced pricing on all pre-planned maintenance packages. Please stop by so our factory-trained technicians can ensure your Mini will continue to keep a smile on your face for years to come. Please give us a call or visit us online at miniofdesmoines.com to set your appointment.
Hi, it's Noel. At Fiscus Jewelers, we're honored by the fact that our customers continue to come back on purpose, and that trust means everything to us. For years, we've been privileged to be a part of life's most meaningful moments, and we never take that responsibility lightly. We proudly offer the largest inventory in Ankeny, cutting-edge custom designs, including free CAD drawings, and a team that takes the time to get it right. Thank you for choosing us year after year. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
Hi, I'm Tom, owner of Central City Liquors. Our customers love us because we offer a large selection at an affordable price. And to keep costs low for you, we don't splurge on fancy promotions and expensive equipment. This commercial is being shot on a phone taped to a stick. Anyway, we are proud to announce our new rewards program that allows customers to save more the more they buy. So don't spend more to pay for fancy commercials. Save at Central City, where we know what's important. I told you we should have used duct tape.
Hi, it's Josh Romick at Willis Lexus. And I want to tell you about our Lexus Spring Sales event we have going on, where you can take advantage of $150 off 4 tires or $75 off a set of 2 tires. Give us a call to schedule or visit us online at willislexus.com.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Iowa Lottery is offering a Des Moines Art Festival VIP experience. Non-winning cash payout scratch tickets can get you to the Des Moines Art Festival. The Lottery Lounge is back at the 2026 Des Moines Art Festival. You could be spending the day in the shade, enjoying music, exploring a juried art fair with over 190 professional artists, and have the opportunity to take home your favorite pieces with $1,000 in art bucks plus food and refreshments. All this and more could be yours in this prize promotion from the Iowa Lottery. The promotion runs up until June 2nd. So get those non-winning tickets into the Iowa Lottery VIP Club account. On April 16th, Alli St. was named the women's wrestling coach at Iowa State. We reached out. She's been busy ever since. And finally, she's joining us. Coach, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. Sorry, I had to switch up rooms because my internet downstairs wasn't working. So hopefully you guys can hear me and everything now.
We got you. We got you good. Is it true you lost your voice? You did so many interviews in that opening week. Oh, no. She lost us, didn't she?
I think so. She froze.
I heard her go, oh,
she froze.
no. Right,
she
right
froze.
Before it shut off. I heard her go, oh, no.
Froze. We had her.
It's all right. It's all right. We'll get her back here, I'm sure, at some point.
Try to come in. I'm going to remove her real quick, and hopefully she's able to come back in. As soon as I see her moving down there, she might be able to come back. Isn't that funny? Internet in the basement is tough. That's why you got to bring in the direct fiber line.
We'll get there. I am interested in a couple of things here. I'm interested in how much similarities and differences there are from going to when Grandview Wrestling is. We've tried to tell people for a long time, Grandview sports are incredible. You get to see amazing athletes at that NAIA level, and you don't until you go see it firsthand, especially with the wrestling team. Man, they are dynamic. And the women's wrestling team hit the ground with really high expectations at Grandview and lived up to those expectations, I would say. I wonder if, what are those expectations going to be for Iowa State women, do you think, Travis? What do you think fans are going to expect from Iowa State women in these opening years?
Well, am I back?
There you go.
Back.
Yeah, we got
okay, I'm so sorry, guys. My internet on my laptop went out, so I had to switch over to my phone.
No worries at all. No worries
at all.
We were. I was just talking about Coach, and let's just dive right in if that's okay, because
let's do it.
I'm interested in some of these differences and similarities between the NAIA and Division I world in the NCAA. You're going from a program that really started at Grandview with some really high expectations. I feel like you guys lived up to those expectations and had great success there. Let's start with expectations. What are the expectations for this Iowa State women's wrestling team out of the gate?
I feel like for myself, I have high expectations for our team because that's just when I think of what I want to build. I want to build an elite program and the best program, right? I'm super, super competitive. So I think that right off the bat, I want to win. And so those expectations on myself are high. And then you have only two Power 4 schools. So those expectations on the Iowa and Iowa State are high because you expect them to win. Like the resources are different at a Division I university. So whether people put them on me or not, I'm sure they will, but I put them on myself. So those expectations are definitely there.
How about on the athletes that you're recruiting or seeing in the room? I mean, again, Grandview, I know firsthand they are bringing in some of the best wrestlers in the country.
Oh yeah.
So how does that level of athlete that you're bringing in now or be able to recruit or talk to?
Yeah, it's definitely the elite of the elite girls that we want to bring in. For NCAA schools, you only have a 30 woman man roster. So you have to bring in and be choosy about who you have on that roster. So when I think about people that we're bringing in, they're very high level athletes that do want to go win NCAAs and then go on to win world and Olympic championships. So that's the kind of girls I'm recruiting. And that's, I think, how I want to build the program that I see to be successful.
You know, you've been in women's wrestling for a long time, one of the best ever. When Jamie approached you about this, what was going through your mind? Just, I'm sure there's a bunch of, yes, you want to coach, but then you've got to build a program from scratch. I mean, what was going through your mind when we said, hey, we want you to lead this thing?
Yeah, I think my first and foremost answer was like, yep, I'm all in, right? Because that's just a dream job for me. I love wrestling. I love both my parents are coaches. I feel like it's in my blood. So that's just what I grew up knowing. And the sport for me is just like to be able to pour back into these athletes is going to be awesome. And it's just going to be rewarding on every level. But then I step back and I'm like, whoa, I got a lot of things to do, right? Like if I'm going to take this over, I have to build things from scratch. But then I also take a step back and I'm like, well, Coach Dresser has done that at multiple schools now, and I have him as our director of wrestling. So anything that I feel overwhelmed with, I can go to him and be like, hey, what did you do? Right. So I feel like I have great people in my corner that are able to help me through this process of things that I don't know, because I'll be honest, I don't have an ego about that. I don't know everything, right? I have never built a program from scratch and I've never been a head coach, but I know the things that are a priority to me are just investing in our athletes and development and just, I don't know, just selling the Iowa State brand and resources that we have here are just like no other place that I've ever been. So I think that alone will just be a recipe for success.
Are you willing to take a question from listeners?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so we're going to go to the phones at 515-517-2303. Joining us on the phone is a good friend of mine. His name is Dr. Rob Zadiska. His daughter wrestles at Lehigh. And so he's one of the most passionate women's wrestling fans I know. Dr. Rob, you're on with Coach Alli St. John. I know you're long-winded. Keep the question tight.
He's on with me. He's on with me,
and
too.
Rob. Yeah,
Hi,
yeah,
Dr.
yeah.
Ross, how are you doing, Coach?
Doing
How
great,
are you
Doc.
doing? Hey, so Coach, hey, congratulations. I think that's awesome. Love seeing the growth of the sport, especially at that level, and I think it's such an amazing move for Iowa State. Would love to see that happen at my alma mater. I complain about that constantly with Travis, but anyway, I think the biggest so two questions. Number one, kind of in the landscape today, when you're starting a program like this, are you, from a recruiting standpoint, are you trying to bring athletes in this calendar year? Because the first year is going to be what, 27, 28?
Yep.
Okay. So are you going to try and bring people in to start with the 26, 27 year? Or do you try and have everybody hitting the door that 27, 28 calendar year?
We'll have at least 10 to 15 girls this first year, because you almost think of like the 4-year cycle that 4 or 5-year cycle that an athlete is. So if I bring 30 girls in 27, 28, I'll have to start over and bring 30 more girls in 4 or 5 years when they graduate. So you kind of have to be strategic about staggering. So these first couple transfers and stuff that we're bringing in, can't say anything yet, but they'll be super crucial to our success. They will redshirt next year. They'll go to all the open tournaments and then USA wrestling events to make those U20 and U23 world teams. So it'll look pretty much probably the same for a competition schedule. No duels and just no NCAA championships for us that first year.
Real quick, are your wrestlers allowed to wrestle basically unattached at those open tournaments? Okay.
Yep, just like the men do when they're under their red shirt year.
Okay.
Yep.
Rob, you got one more question?
Yeah, my other question was, so you spent a year on the staff at Grandview, which is Travis's very proud alma mater. What do you take from the program at Grandview, or is there anything you take from that experience to Iowa State?
Yeah, I would say what I learned the most, just coming from an athlete perspective, because I was fresh off competing myself, that looks so different, right? It's all about me as an athlete. Like you have to be selfish in order to succeed in this sport and in any sport, right? You have to be your best self and do everything for yourself. And so that completely changes as a coach. So I learned that right away. And I think my biggest takeaway was just to build relationships with your athletes. Like the way I was coached, I could try and coach a girl that and they might cry, right? Or, I mean, it's just the truth. And then, so building those relationships and like seeing how every girl ticks, because girls are different, right? We've got emotions, we've got all the things that make us really powerful. So I think that just building those relationships with your athletes is probably the biggest takeaway that I took from that first year. And just, yeah, seeing the difference in your girls and getting to know them on a deeper level helped a lot.
All right, Dr. Rob.
Okay,
Thanks, man.
Okay, I got one more question.
Of course he does.
And this is well, it's sort of it kind of builds on what you just answered about that experience as a female athlete versus a male athlete. Going back to high school, because do you feel like you kind of came from a different era? Because when you were at what, Carbondale?
Yep.
I mean, you were competing against the boys, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I didn't compete against the girls until college, so I was almost one of the boys, right? So I think that that's all I knew for so long. But seeing how other girls need to be coached, I think some girls were raised like me, right? Where their dad, like me, was probably their coach, and they'll stick a boot up your butt if you're not doing the right things, right? But not everyone works that way, and so I figured that out pretty quickly.
All right, Doc, we're letting you
Awesome.
go. You'll hijack this thing.
All right. All right. Sounds good. Travis, have a good one. Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
It's always good to talk to you.
Always good, Dr. Rob. Take care, buddy. Talk to you soon.
You know, what a lot of people, because you mentioned earlier when we started this, there's only 2 Power 4 schools that have collegiate wrestling. A lot of people may not be familiar with that, but where, as you get into your coaching circles in here, how long till more Power 4 schools add women's wrestling, or is it going to be a slow drip, do you think?
I've heard just with the splash of ours, I think I've heard a couple other schools. They're like, hey, they were kind of on the edge and they're like, hey, we're going to our administration. Our administration has come to us now being like, we've got it. You guys have a really successful women's club, maybe. What's next and what's that look like now? So I think that hopefully starts other Power 4 schools. But you never know. I think NIL is definitely probably, I would think Iowa State would have done it, and rumblings of them doing it before if that hadn't happened, right? So I think that big funding aspect of athletic departments now definitely put a hold on some things, right?
You mentioned the NIL there because I think a lot of people are, because it's obviously changed the landscape of college sports greatly.
Oh, yeah.
What is the impact here in just your opening weeks of doing this? Have you had a lot of NIL conversations? Are the athletes already asking about those opportunities?
No, I don't know if necessarily it's trickled down to women's wrestling yet, but my previous job was with the men's team. And so I did all of that for them. So I'm very familiar with that landscape and everything like that, and rev share and all that good stuff. So I'm familiar with it, but I almost hope for my sake that we don't get there yet. But I think every coach is probably like, I want to stick to coaching instead of being a full-time fundraiser. But if it goes that way, that was my job before, and I'll strap up my boots and get to work.
Okay, I really did think that would be part of Kevin, Coach Dresser's responsibilities as a general manager of the programs, that would be part of his oversight of curtailing some of that for you so you can focus on wrestling.
Right. Yeah, no, he's the best fundraiser, and he's just a people person. So if you meet him, I don't know, you just want to help him, and he's just a great fundraiser in person. And so I think he's built so many great connections. So he'll definitely help me with that aspect.
What's in 3 short weeks, what's been your biggest surprise so far? You're like, I didn't see that one coming.
Just a little learning NCAA rules, I would say, that I've not, like compliance. There's so many rules with compliance where you're like, hey, I can't talk to her if she's not in the portal, or things like that, where it's like, okay, pump the brakes. You can't just respond to everyone, even though you probably would want to. You're like, there's just different steps that you need to go through for NCAA compliancy rules. So we're learning it. Don't want to break any rules, that's for sure. But yeah.
Okay. Some scholarship questions. How many scholarships are you actually allowed? What's your plan to kind of break those down?
Yep, we have 10 scholarships across our 30 girls. So I would say that most girls that at least I've talked to, and I see their transcripts because we have to get them from them, girls are smart, right? So I think that piece helps when you got some academic money that you can give girls, and relatively Iowa State's not too expensive, but just getting the right girls in. And what we need to do to get them here.
Okay. High school success. How much is that gonna play in? We have a growing women's girls wrestling programs here in the state of Iowa. When you're recruiting, is it look a lot like Midwestern girls? Or are you stepping outside and doing some international stuff?
All of the above.
Okay.
I think you need definitely to bring some Iowa girls on, and we're looking at a couple for sure. And then wrestling all across the country, all across the world is huge. So you got to get out there and get the best girls, and you're going to have to travel to do that. But no, I think we're just definitely expanding everything. So no, not just staying in the Midwest. We're getting out there and all the things.
Because you're able to wrestle unattached, and you're able to be competitive even starting next year when the real season starts. How much of an advantage does that give you to be able to say, hey, we're hitting the ground running? Our expectations are to compete not just as a starter, but to be one of the elites in year number one.
Right. No, that's a huge advantage to me. And it's almost like when I sell it to athletes this first year that have maybe competed and they're looking to take a red shirt for us here, it's like, hey, we got a whole year to get really, really good at wrestling. Right. So like, granted, we're going to compete and stuff like that at open tournaments, but like we're going to really develop and learn technique and break it down because we got a year to be our best selves before we step out there on that mat to compete. So I think that excites me because I think there's so much to learn in the sport of wrestling. And each girl will just come here and I feel like just be a sponge. In that first year, they're going to learn all the things and just continue to learn and develop. And I think this first year will be super, super awesome for them.
One thing that could hamper this, and you tell me if I'm wrong, is this proposed 5-for-5 rule. Right?
That's my question.
So, I mean, you mentioned the red shirt, but if this 5-for-5 rule goes into effect, essentially that red shirt's gone, and they're only going to have. You're still going to get 4 years. I get that, but does that affect anything, or do you just like this is just the reality of the situation we're in?
Definitely the reality of the situation we're in, but I want to say, at least from what I've been hearing, that our athletes are grandfathered into that, so they will have what was previous. So I think that won't start until they're active probably next year when those that full junior class right now comes in the fall. So. And who knows, it could change, but before then too. So
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, prepare to adapt to the new rule changes.
Sure.
It has to feel like you're. I mean, with Travis just mentioned that 5-year window changing here. Literally, the rug getting. I don't want to say rug getting pulled out from underneath you, but things changing under your feet. Does it feel like you're kind of drinking from a fire hose, even though you're familiar with this wrestling world, familiar with Iowa State? You've had a couple of years to kind of get into this college thing. This has to feel like you're drinking from a fire hose these first couple of weeks.
I would say a little bit, yeah. Just being on the phone so much, like recruiting, like I say, I'm a little behind, especially with that junior class because they've been able to get talked to for a whole year now, and I'm like, hey, don't commit anywhere, right? Just come visit us, like see us. I think that's probably my biggest thing, just getting on the phone with these girls and selling them my vision of this program, and hopefully them wanting to be a part of that. But definitely, it's a lot. I will say, every person's asked like, how are you doing? And I'm like, actually great. But so I hired an assistant coach, and I have a really, really good one. And just him starting on, Monday, just being able to have someone like that has been through it all, that's been a head coach, and now to bounce things off of him is huge. And it's just a relief for me, right? So I think that alone has taken a lot of the burden off of me.
So you hired Jake Cadle from William Penn, and did you know him? Obviously, you knew him, or you wouldn't have probably hired him because it's all relationship based. But what impressed you about him to say, "Hey, come join me on this venture"?
I've known him. So my husband actually wrestled with him at Iowa. So they were like practice partners, and I just kind of knew Jake through Derek. So that definitely helped. And if my husband likes you, he's probably more of a tough crowd than I am. But so he's very high on Jake. And that was actually the first person I was like, I think I'm going to hire Jake. And he's like, I didn't like, that's the best idea you've probably had. And I was like, okay, got your confirmation there. So yeah, that was the first person I thought of when I was thinking of who to hire for this job. And I'm just really glad he accepted it. It's kind of almost, maybe it was a hard thing for me to think. And I was like, oh, he's going to leave a head coaching job to be an assistant, but it's definitely different, I will say. So no, we're really excited to have him on board. And yeah.
Now
Well,
you
helped get him out of Oskaloosa. That's
My Ames is pretty nice.
Now you've piqued my interest because my wife and I, we're coming up on 34, 35 years of marriage, right? And we have, we love each other, but we have nothing in common. She hates sports. I mean, we don't talk about any of that. Do you and Derek just talk wrestling all the time?
No, he'd probably punch me if if I did or something, right? Like, not really, but like you got to leave some of that at work. And luckily we have a daughter, a 1.5-year-old that like we're all in on, and she just like keeps everything light. So even if you have a crazy day, like I will say like portal season after their NCAAs was 2 crazy weeks, right? So it's like, but you come home and you see her and you're like, okay, life's good, right? As much as the craziness happens during the day, it's like back to reality. This is what matters. Even though our work really, really matters and it's super important to us, but it's like you come home and you're like, okay, I can take a deep breath and I have good people at home, right?
Yeah.
But do you drive with each other to work? Say, oh, you're carpooling today.
No, we live 5 minutes from work, so that definitely helps. And like you're on your own, because he'll go to practice and I'll go all the things. So no, we're not sharing a vehicle. We could though.
What's the next piece of news that you expect Iowa State fans or wrestling fans to hear out of this program?
Definitely some signees. I think that'll be our next thing, and adding another coach on the roster. So I think those 2 will probably happen the next week or 2. So we're excited about that.
Have they started the renovation for your? Because Jamie mentioned the old gymnastics facility. Have they started the renovation of that? Is there a lot of work that needs to be done to make it a wrestling facility? Because I think a big selling point would be separate facilities. I think it's a valuable thing. Has that started, or when do you expect that to start?
All the stuff, the old gymnastic stuff, will be sold. I think they told me in late May, early June. So that will be just an empty space, and then they'll get to work. And I feel like there's not much stuff to be done in my mind because, I mean, shoot, you just lay wrestling mats. We could wrestle outside if we need to, right? So
super easy.
Yeah. So I don't think there's that much to be done, but it's a huge space, and the boys are definitely going to be jealous once they see our room. That's for sure.
There's a golden opportunity here with the Cyhawk series to grow not just the rivalry, but the sport in general, whether that's an outdoor event or something really special to bring those 2 schools together to promote the sport statewide. I think there's opportunities abound there. So hopefully that you're all thinking about that.
Oh yeah, we're excited. That's for sure.
And I would tell anybody that hasn't seen it, we try to tell people all the time. Again, Travis is a Grandview alum. I've been a part of that.
You're
Grandview
a DMAC
program.
dropout.
I'm a DMAC dropout, but they hire me to do. I've seen that. I've seen a lot of women's wrestling over at Grandview. It is exciting. It is a really fun sport to watch. It's spectator friendly. It's high action. So I would encourage anybody, if you can't wait till 27-28 to watch Iowa State, or you want to get a feel for it, Grandview has a special program over there, and it's really dynamic athletes.
For sure.
All right, Coach. I know you're busy. We appreciate you taking the time, and hopefully,
Did you really lose your voice because you were doing?
Yeah.
You did so many
I
interviews.
did. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm back. We're back. Those first 3 days, I probably talked way too much, and then I was like, oh, now I'm down for a little bit, and then I got back, so we're good.
Are you going to be on?
You've got that interesting combination of wrestler but talker. I know a lot of wrestlers that's not a lot of.
Are you going to be on the tailgate tour to meet a lot of people?
I am. Yes, I'm on the tailgate tour starting the 18th. Are you guys coming?
Trying to make it out. It's tough. That's tough.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And we're based in different places. So I'm based in Omaha. He's based in Des Moines. And so if I do, it'd be the Council Bluffs stop for you. I usually get to the Council Bluffs stop, but I don't. That's on the 22nd. I think Ross and I are busy that night. But we'll hook up at some time when hopefully you can join us again. This is a lot of fun. We'd love to have you back on with us.
Yes, of course. Yep, of course.
Right.
And then anytime you guys want to come out to duels, just let me know. I'll get you some tickets.
We'll do that, Coach. Appreciate
it. I apologize for calling you by your first name. It should
be
Coach.
No, Alli, you can call me whatever you want.
Coach, thank you so much.
Thanks,
we'll
Coach.
catch up. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me on. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Coach Alli St. John from the Iowa State women's wrestling team. Good stuff. Good stuff. How about Dr. Rob just hijacking?
I love it. But, dude, interesting, leapfrogging that has to happen there with the season not starting till 27-28. that 5-year window now being implemented, I hadn't really thought about that thing of, man, if I bring in all freshmen, I can't bring in all of one class, because then what happens in 4 or 5 years? So, man, that's got to be a little bit of a juggling act of figuring out not that you're sacrificing weights, but you're going to have to do that. You're going to have to say, I got
it's a chess game, right?
I've got my eyes on a junior that I want to have in here as a freshman in 2 years, but I've got to fill that weight for 1 year. Be some interesting maneuvering to happen on that board. Fun.
I'm surprised Dr. Rob didn't drop, but I mentioned that his daughter wrestles at Lehigh. Lehigh's got a good wrestling tradition. What if Dr. Rob just called to drop the name in case his daughter wants to transfer? Little tampering happening there. Huh? I know she loves Lehigh, but I think they would like to have her closer to home, because like flying to Pennsylvania to watch your kid wrestle all the time is not easy.
Dr. Rob's doing just fine.
He's doing just fine. he's doing just fine. He'll tell you he's not.
Most rich guys will tell you they're not doing so well.
He did that the other day on our podcast. We were just sitting there talking, and he goes, "Says the guy who drives a Range Rover. I drive a used Chevy or Ford Explorer." I'm like, really? We're gonna go there. We're gonna go there. We're gonna go there. You gotta be that way, don't you, Doc?
Yeah. It's always the poor guys that tell you how well they're doing, and the rich guys that tell you how well they're not.
Funny how that works out.
Same thing with being endowed.
Ross is drawing interest on his endowment every single day. It gets bigger by the minute.
His nose ain't for show, baby. I'll just say that.
But unlike other sports, like Nebraska starting women's flag football, well, they don't have like an open division.
Yeah.
That's one of the benefits of wrestling that I think people forget about, that even when you accept a scholarship, you come on and play in your red shirt, you're still wrestling quite a bit because of that open division, which is an advantage that a lot of other sports don't have.
Yeah, it's definitely going to help them and help Coach St. John this year to be able to go to ladies and say, come join the program. You can be here. You can use the facilities. You can wrestle. You can still compete, and you compete at really high level tournaments. You're not going to be able to compete at the national at the NCAA championships, but you're able to at least stay active, keep at it. I think, a lot of those are the right questions. What are the expectations? I'm going to bring in ladies that want to compete in the international level, that looking for world championships. That's one of the things wrestling can do a little bit different.
Hey, guys, if you're not feeling right, don't ignore it. Treat it your way. Urology Center of Iowa has a dedicated men's health wellness center designed to restore your confidence and comfort, to put you back in control. Because at UCI, you will get a personalized treatment based on what you need and nobody else. You deserve a clear plan, a private tailored experience, and a judgment-free care. That's UCI. Schedule an appointment with UCI today at iowauro.com. Fun day today. The only thing we want you to take away, go do something. Go do something. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Start spreading the news, 'cause it's time to buy booze, and there's only one place to be. You can see all your friends, the good times never end, unless you're just loitering. It's Central City. We can make your dreams come true. No guarantee your dreams will come true. Central City. All this booze is waiting for you. Look at all this booze.
Hi, Noel from Fiscus Jewelers. Thinking about popping the question? Take their breath away with a diamond you can trust. Rare and forever natural diamonds. Thoughtfully selected and pre-screened using advanced technology. If you don't see exactly what you're looking for, we'll custom design it together. Our experienced team is here to help you create something truly meaningful. And let's not forget about the guys. We proudly offer the largest selection of men's wedding bands around. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
Boy, howdy, we love spring. flowers, nature coming alive, pollen, bugs, rain? Wait a second, those last three things aren't great. If only my Volvo had new wiper blades, engine air filter, and cabin air filter treated with FrigiFresh. Wait a third, that's the Fresh Spring Package available at Willis Volvo Cars for 20% off retail during the month of April. I better go online to Willis Volvo Cars to schedule my appointment, and you should too.
With the Iowa Lottery's new Millionaire for Life game, you could win $1 million a year for life. That could make you a My Dream Job is No Job millionaire. A front row tickets to every show millionaire. A hire a personal glam squad for you and your bestie millionaire.
Yep, a little further.
Or just to never run out of your favorite pickles millionaire. With Millionaire for Life from the Iowa Lottery,
And these.
you can change your life for life. Play today.
Your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.